Hi, it's Dan Harmon. If you're like me, you're a big fan of Harmontown, the podcast, and you wish that you didn't have to wait so long for it to drop after we record it. But here's the thing. Jeff Spencer, take it.
You do not have to wait.
You can not only hear it right after it happens, you can watch it too in delicious, deluxe, high-definition multicam on your browser or your mobile phone.
We do edit some stuff out sometimes. Like, I'll say something so incredibly racist that we will catch it right before it drops as a podcast.
But you get to watch Dan right before the sedition hearing when he talks shit about Trump again.
Right.
Sometimes we have really famous guests, but we just cut it out of the podcast entirely.
Because it turns out they're pedophiles.
Sometimes Spencer's never wearing a shirt.
Most of the time. We put that in post.
Not to mention all the times you always hear people laughing at something that doesn't sound funny because someone is making a funny face or wearing a funny shirt.
Yeah, for $5 you get to watch all that stuff. You can see the weirdos sitting down, like getting nervous on camera. There's like one camera that's just right up someone's nose, and they're always picking their nose and stuff like that. That's good.
As if that wasn't enough, here's some political incentive. We will match your new subscription to the Harmontown live feed up until April 15th. The day of the big tax march, we'll match it with a donation to the ACLU,
which stands for a clue, which is what you should get.
And I know that's triggering your thought of going, doesn't the ACLU now have $800 million? Because, but here's the thing, ACLU money is like toilet paper money. It never expires.
But if political encouragement weren't enough, some apolitical encouragement is if you sign up, you get access to a year and a half of our back catalog of video episodes, including a tour in Australia and Harmon country, as well as audio downloads on the night of the record, on just minutes after it airs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many times have you been listening to Harmontown for free after Wednesday and thought, I would really want to know what that guy looks like or what she looks like, or I want to see exactly how uncomfortable the audience is when Adam Goldberg is on stage. Mm-hmm. Now, for $5 a month, you get to see it as well as hear it. You can almost taste the Harmontown. Go to harmontown.com/live for your subscription to watch us as well as hear us. It really, really is a taste treat. Dan gave me little eyebrows.
I was like, holy shit, that guy just hit the bullseye. It really is a taste treat.
Attention. Attention.
Hi, have I got your attention? Great. Hey, this is Steve Agee. Hey, did you know I have a podcast here on Feral Audio? It's called Steve Agee. Of course you didn't, because they never advertise it. I don't know if you haven't noticed this or not, but lately Feral's been doing a lot of advertising of all their new podcasts, which is great. There's some really great podcasts, but there's also a lot of really great podcasts that have been around since the beginning, like mine. That's right. I've had a podcast here. I've done almost 80 episodes, you guys. I've had guests like Juliette Lewis, Weird Al Yankovic, Liam Lynch, Diablo Cody, Kumail Nanjiani, Rich Fulcher, Phil Lamar, Adam Goldberg, Mikey Schumann, and Troy Van Leeuwen from Queens of the Stone Age. Guys, the list goes on. You should give my podcast a listen. I'm sorry, does anybody else hear that dripping?
Feral Audio.
From Hollywood, California, Meltdown Comics and the Nerd Melt Theater, Harmontown is now in session. Spencer Crittenden. Spencer. Gambling across the stage. And the mayor of Harmontown, Dan Harmon.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Flips and chits. That's my shirt.
Dan, do you know that tomorrow would be our 4th anniversary of the first Harmontown?
Yeah, it's the 4th anniversary, Dan.
How do we keep it so fresh after all these years?
Just yeah, no, I have no idea. I don't know. It's gonna be a bad show. I'm not, and I've been having a very relaxing weekend, and you know how it gets. Your energy flags a little bit. You start playing your cookies and like that fucking Transformers game you're playing. Transformers Earth Wars. It's Clash of Clans with Transformers. Jeff's playing it.
You don't have to play it, Dan.
Are you also playing Clash of Clans, or are you?
I think I'm starting to trail off on the Clash of Clans because now I get to be an Optimus Prime or a Bumblebee.
I wanted to tell you guys, all I can really share with you is the result of a good 7 hours of forensic file viewing today. I can tell you that pubic hairs travel or migrate. I wrote that down. I thought it was so funny. From room to room. I noticed that they reused.
Wait, by their own volition, or do they have to hitch a ride on something?
Well, that's why I think they use the phrase travel or migrate, because they said either travel or migrate the first time by itself, and then they're like, people are going to think they're alive like worms. So they. But I saw the episode where they really walked you through finding out that pubic hairs travel or migrate to different rooms.
Wait, tell me more about pubic hair migration.
Tell me more about your weird friend.
You saw him too? A fellow, what is your name, good sir? Luke. Thank you, brother. He just spirited me up a little airport bottle of Fernet Branca, to which I say hooray and hurrah. Which I will now drink on podcast form.
So there was a case where there are these dead children.
Don't mention dead children around Jeff.
There were these dead children, and they wanted to know who killed them, and there were pubic hairs, of course, everywhere. And the pubic hairs matched this guy who lived with the family. I'm not laughing at the death of the children. I'm just laughing at
We don't know that.
It's just like the volume of forensic files that just desensitizes you, and you're kind of that's what you're in the market for, is desensitization. You keep making these jokes about people's haircuts and stuff, and they're crying, and there's just pubic hairs everywhere, and they were like, well, fuck, well, the guy lived with them, they're like, dude, we found your pubic hairs in the kids' room, and the guy's like, so, fucking, I lived there. Pubic hairs get around. He's got to be right? And this forensics guy is he's doing his interview, and he goes, so we had to come up with a new science, and so I went home and I vacuumed my whole house really well. And I tell you, the house has never been cleaner. And he stopped. It was like that. Right, that's that guy's one moment of joy per that whole year. And then he vacuumed his whole house. And then he vacuumed at regular times and counted the pubic hairs. He had to figure out how. Can you imagine being that guy's daughters? What are you doing, Dad? It's the guy is in the middle of a science that needs to be it's got peer review and stuff. So he's at home, and he's this could help bring a murderer to justice. And it's I need to make sure that I don't, while eating breakfast or watching television or anything, I never engage in any activities that go beyond the average amount of pubic hair affectation. I don't want to have a crazy dance party and take off my pants and shake my pelvis around, because what if they find that out and then they're because he had to find out how far does the average pubic hair go, and it turns out pubic hairs travel or migrate primarily on sock surfaces.
All right, yeah, you step on a pubic hair, you're moving, you're smuggling pubes at that point. But more than the hairs off your head or hairs off your arm, or is it all hair?
No, not more than hairs off your head. No, just enough that there's some pubic hairs. If you have a kid, there's some of your pubic hairs are in your kid's bedroom, but not so many. And then they started getting into the minutia of like, yeah, but these were fresh, moist pubic hairs.
But those stick to socks more than any other.
And then the forensics guy was talking about how the pubic hairs he was finding in his kid's bedroom were dry and had been bitten by mite larvae. You know, like the world this guy lives in. The world his children live in.
But this pubic hair was holding a picture of today's New York Times.
Yeah. Like,
was he acquitted? Did this guy get off? Or did
the guy that works for the forensics? I think he went to jail after the whole thing was over. His kids like filed charges. And go like, I don't care. I was trying to save a life. No, everyone's dead. You're just trying to be the best pubic hair detector. and you need to stop. It's like a beautiful mind. I think.
That's hard work being the world's best pubic hair detective.
Anyways,
thankless work.
Oh, and I was also thinking because so while he was talking about the pubic hair migration, he was like, you saw this black and white footage of people, their heads were out of frame, but you just saw like it was like a lockdown camera shot, and then just like different family members, like different aged people putting on socks and taking them off and like walking around and like just walking through frame. And and then there was another case that it was pubic hair reliant, and so they used that footage again, and Cody and I are like, oh my God, it's the pubic hair migration footage. And then they had and then also that required vacuuming, and it was like, oh, that's the same vacuum cleaner. Oh, they're cutting up and looking through the layers of the vacuum bag. So I was thinking like they must be so stoked at Forensic Files when a new murder happens and it uses all the elements of their stock footage.
Their budget's cut in half.
Yeah, like someone got strangled with pubic hair by a vacuum cleaner salesman.
But then you get a guy that's like a producer that was about to get fired, and he starts committing pubic hair murders.
Yeah,
just
to drive the budget down.
Yeah. It's like firemen starting fires.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't think the Forensics Files budget is too high. I don't know about. Well, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Then he starts committing non-pubic hair murders. That's what it is. The network says like, look,
right.
your show's on autopilot, man. Budgetarily, you've got it all knocked out. I can do it. You take the pubic hair footage, you take the bloody knife, you take the lady coming home from shopping, and you put this thing together. You say murder, and then you get an episode. And then the producer was like, fuck, there goes my kid's pool. Right. And then he like...
So he was building his kid his own pool.
So he removes all of his pubic hair and becomes the alopecia strangler. And then there's an episode about it, and he's like, yeah, like you know, it's like a cool movie about that guy's double life. And you're on his side because it's like a black comedy, you know, like a dark, like anti kind of thing.
How do you catch the alopecia strangler? What's that Forensic Files like?
Well, he slips up, you know. I don't know. He gets caught by his own people. Nobody on those shows, by the way, they never get caught by the cops. It's always a phone call, a tip. The drinking game with Forensic Files. The big one is like, and then police received a call that they've been waiting for. Then police received a tip that changed everything.
A guy just told me he is the alopecia strangler.
It's always like a guy in prison. It's like, hey, this guy I'm in prison with murdered like 90 people before you caught him jaywalking. And then they let the 3 people they put in prison for the crime go at the end, and they're all old and gray, and they fall down as they're leaving the prison from the weight of the $8 they got from the state.
Dan, if you ever
there was like a crazy one where I kept rewinding it because I was like, wait, are they trying to? This episode of Forensic Files is trying to get away with murder because there was a woman in it who went to police and said, I think I know, like I work at a massage parlor and a lot of these guys get pretty chatty, like they Like, and I think there's this guy, he's like saying some weird shit. Like, I'd wear a wire for you if you wanted. And they were like, no, that's too dangerous. And then she called him later and was like, that guy just confessed I should have been wearing a wire. And they're like, okay, well, now record him and get him to do it again. And she tried and it didn't work. And then the guy came and stabbed her after work.
What?
And I was like, oh, so rewind it to when she was like that's why they made that big weird deal about how she came to them. It was like, we told her it was too dangerous. Like, no, you didn't. You fucking jumped on it and made her some amateur sleuth or whatever, man. So it was like, come on, man. Forensic Files, not Forensic Files, the police involved. Forensic Files, I'm sure they killed people too. You know, if it made the difference between them getting to do more Forensic Files and getting canceled, that they'd kill somebody. If that show tells you one thing, man, it's inside all of us. You release the beast. We watched the Purge movies this weekend. All two of the ones available at home. Purge 2 definitely better than Purge 1. That's a lot like turds with peanuts in them are better than regular turds. Just because I don't know what you're measuring by peanuts, it's gross. It's gross. It's a gross image. You don't want to think about it, but technically speaking,
Spencer, if you had to choose between turds or turds with peanuts, what are you taking?
Are people swallowing these peanuts whole? How does that work?
You got to chew those peanuts.
Yeah. How would you tell the difference between any other thing that was in your poop?
They would taste like peanuts.
You wouldn't say it's like...
It's just one of those things. It's like corn. Corn, the cellulose, it doesn't
Corn is
digest.
different than peanuts, man. That's what I'm saying.
Whatever.
I didn't get a lot of sleep. Let me tell you what happened when I was trying to go to sleep last night.
Okay, great.
I was going to go to sleep. I'm laying down in my bed. I'm relaxing. I got a fart. And I fart, and I just shit all over the place. Just so much shit. I'm like lightheaded and I'm getting dizzy from all the shit, and I can't move, and I'm just paralyzed.
You shit so much you depleted the blood flow to your brain.
Yeah, it was terrifying. And then I woke up and it was sleep paralysis. And I was completely dry, but it was really terrifying because I thought I was literally shitting my brains out.
Wait,
and then I couldn't get back to sleep for hours.
Wait, you had not shit yourself?
No, I didn't even have to shit. It's just part of the confusion and the fear.
As soon as you were able to move, you started for the bathroom, and then you were like, wait, what?
Wait, it's all good.
I guess I'll lay down in what I was convinced was my shit.
Yeah, I really had to convince myself it wasn't shit. It was not, and it was not ideal from that point onward. Didn't get a lot of sleep. I had another dream where I was walking through dog shit too. I don't know. My butt's fine.
What do you think all that shit-related dreams signifies?
It's really weird. I've never had that before. It was a really weird situation in my life.
Does anybody here know dream analysis?
Dreams are full of shit.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I ate a whole pizza. My body might have
large,
just been
medium,
that
small. What size pizza?
It was a large Hawaiian pizza.
You ate a whole large Hawaiian?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
pineapple.
heroic.
Yeah.
Yet you deserve to dream about shitting yourself to death.
That's the thing. My body was just terrified.
I ate a lot of. I ate something that really had me going in the fart department, which I refuse to call the department because I don't want to get too used to this stuff, I don't. But I was really. I went to Cliff's Edge over it doesn't matter where I went. It's a nice restaurant. They got a back patio.
Sure.
Had a nice. I haven't really seen Cody all week or for a long time. They got a holiday weekend together, so went out in a back patio at one of LA's fine summer breeze restaurants and had some silly food like for artsy farts and something in one of them must have, I don't know if I'm lactose intolerant, and there was a milk fish or something, and but I was like farting so much, and I'm like with Cody, I'm like new. I went through a whole like with McGathy, we kind of decided at the outset, we're like, let's not fart in front of each other. And I've kind of been doing that for a couple girlfriends, like
a zero fart policy.
I got the idea from Sarah Silverman, who, like, her relationship with Jimmy Kimmel, which she was in when I was working with her. She said at one point, like, I don't fart like in front of Jimmy and vice versa. We don't do that. And I was like, really? What? Don't you think that's kind of dishonest and unnatural? She's like, is it dishonest to like not like fart all over the person you say you love? Like, it's like you're telling, what are you telling them with that expression? You know, that they're like your hillbilly brother, or like, you know, and then you're shocked if the sex goes away or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a totally different perspective, and I've never even entertained it. And then I looked back at previous relationships, and I was like, God, yeah, man, you really get programmed by your kind of family's like class system, or you know, like their aesthetic, you know, and there's a lot of stuff you don't even like second guess. And I'm like, man, I really like, I would always like celebrate becoming intimate with a woman by like really starting to fart a lot, and like I kind of like started tapering it off, and thinking like, yeah, why don't you just go in the other room if you gotta fart so bad? Like, what's so funny about poopy farts? Like, stop it.
So you and Cody are...
But Cody kind of was like swinging back the other way, like because she was like, you know, just... But it's like, so it's like a pendulum, you know, like with McGathy, and I don't think... It wasn't like McGathy's demand. She just liked the idea, too. And like we just really never farted in front of each other. And, you know, Cody, I'm letting him rip. Like, a little bit.
A little bit.
Like I'm pushing the envelope.
Wait,
she kept.
You're trying to blow her mind, like.
Well, it's it's like I'll do.
Name a key. F sharp.
I feel like splitting the difference is like you do one and then you like kind of you go like uh-oh. And it's like, what was that? I think a mouse was moving a dresser. You know, it's back to the 50s kind of. Now, like, I think it's duck season.
Have you done this long enough for this experiment to have proved itself out of whether that affects sex life, or?
So far, I'm still creepy. Yeah, no, it hasn't really. I don't think it's changed anything.
Right.
But I'm going by laughter. Like if it's not gonna make her laugh, then I'm not gonna. I think that's the thing. Like, it's not about whether or not they don't throw anything at you. It should be if they stop laughing, then maybe wait until it's funny again. So I like a couple nights ago, I was like I'm always more awake than her, and so then I'd do one, and she'd go like, that sounded so sharp. And we'd talk about it for a little bit. Yeah, it was really sharp. And then like 10 minutes later, I'd do another one, and it's like, I was like, did you hear that? Yeah. All right. Yeah. So then you pull back. Then the next one you go in the basement.
But is there a blue sky fart where you fart and it completely makes everything amazing?
Well, I did one today that I swear. You've had today I did one and she was just sound asleep. Like I was like, I'm just doing it. It was like I was sitting up in bed playing some iPad game and it was like building and then I kind of laid down for a bit and was like snuggling and then I was just like, I'm gonna see what's going on here. And I swear this is my actual estimate of the length. Maybe it won't sound identical, but this is my actual, not exaggerating, estimate of the length of the duration.
Whoa! What? No. Yeah. No.
And then I just kind of hung there in silence.
Dan, will you marry me? That's amazing.
I went out and I touched her on the shoulder because I wanted to know. And she's like, what? And I was like, I love you. I love you too. So she didn't hear it.
Stockholm syndrome. That's an amazing fart.
There was a guy on Forensic Files who pronounced the word personality personatally. People out there are so crazy with their crazy hair. There should be a and it's also fun to watch classic Forensic Files because like today we saw one where they took 25 minutes because they were so scared we wouldn't know what GPS was. They're like, but police didn't have to follow Andrew Kessinger. They didn't have to. Commercial break. And we're like, what? And then it comes back, and the whole act was like, high above the earth, 30 miles in outer space. And it was like they went. There was like there are 8 satellites. I mean, I learned how GPS works. I didn't need to, but they didn't know we knew what it was. They called it the Global Positioning System or GPS, and they took the first letters of each word and animated them going up into the word GPS. This was a first-time thing for them. They were explaining how they were using it to catch a
That
killer.
sounds like slow news day for them. Again.
By the way, if you ever kill a little girl, and the cops say to you,
And we're not saying you should. We're not saying.
no, I'm not saying you should, but here's a pitfall. Here's a way the police are going to abuse their power.
Here's 3
okay.
nevers. Here's 3 nevers on killing little
If they
girls.
come to you and they say, like, they go like, look, congratulations, we know you killed that little girl, and you got away with it for now, but you know that grave's too shallow. You know animals are going to dig it up, and then it's just a matter of time. Don't go drive to the shallow grave. Dig it up, take the body, put it in your trunk, rub the fibers around, drive it to another place, dig a big, deep grave, put it in, cover it up, put a flower on it, like come back home and
Measure twice, cut once.
Yeah.
You know.
there's a good chance the cops aren't busting out that shallow grave's gonna give your kid's body to the dingoes soon. Like they're not leaning on that until they're desperate. So take 3 years, then go change that body.
I think part of the fun of killing children is like riding that wave of how shallow should I make this grave just for the fucking action.
It's true.
Just for the fucking adrenaline.
Yeah.
Like 6 feet, no. How about 3
and
and a half?
you're thinking like, oh, Jeff, that's crazy. Why would you kill a kid just for the thrill? And we're not saying kill kids. What we're saying is if you do, you're not doing it to become senator. You're not doing it to make money. You're doing it. I mean, so if you're gonna do it,
They say
do it to ride the edge. Ride that edge. Bury that kid 6 inches underneath some boots.
It's point break. Fear causes hesitation. Hesitation causes your worst fears to come true. I'm saying bury a kid just 3 inches.
And hey, while we're at it, same topic, kind of related. If you're running for president and you're a fascist, like, look, go ahead. Use the original artwork from the meme, like with the anti-Semitic Star of David on the thing. Did you see the thing? I missed the whole thing, but there was a thing. Trump did another meme, like the last one. He just finds him, and then he's like indisputably like. He has no help with his Twitter account. He has no staff.
I have to say, I think he does. I think this is all. It can't be that unpremeditated.
Well, there's a scary thing because you read sometimes articles about his strategy about how he tests stuff. He uses the internet to test stuff. So if that were true, what if there were multiple tiers to his testing? So, like, what if he did have people, like, posting crazy, like, anti-Semitic, like, racist shit into, like, super right-wing, like, message boards, seeing how it played with the Hustler magazine crowd, then, like pumping a little air into it and bumping it up subreddit by subreddit up, and then all of a sudden he throws it out there, and everyone's like, these statistics are all wrong about black people in crime, and he's like, oh, sorry about that. Like, I know this won't blow up in my face because it's been, like, built up on, like, layers of sediment. I don't know. But whatever the case is, he tweeted a meme. He tweeted a meme. It was like, historic Hillary, and then like whatever, she's made history, and then there was her head cut out, not cut off, cut out, like, and there was like over just a big pile of money. It was just money in the background, and then there was a big red Star of David. No matter how you slice it, just a big red Star of David, and inside the Star of David it said,
most corrupt ever.
Yeah, something like that.
Most corrupt candidate ever.
Something like that. It was like the 20% more beef kind of like starburst thing. The star was a Star of David, and and then people were like, "What the fuck? Like, holy shit!" And then they deleted that and like switched it, and it was a red circle. And then everyone was like, you could still see 2 of the 6 points from the star underneath peeking out from under the red circle. I don't know. As I overheard a lady say in a candle store once, amaze-a-balls.
Amaze-a-balls.
Amaze-a-balls. I guess she's only seen it in print, the word. Amaze-a-balls. She thought it was Italian. She had what you'd call personality. So yeah, well, what those 2 things lead. So if you're gonna kill a little girl, bury her shallow. If you're gonna run for president and be a Nazi, to have Hitler's speeches next to your bed and fucking start tweeting those anti-Semitic tweets. There's no other reason to become president as a fascist other than to see if we can get this started again. Britain's ready. Let's get the Wayback Machine going. 1932. That's when we start making money, by the way.
Who does?
America during fucking big ass wars, because we've gotten so good at manufacturing.
No, but that presumes that we're like the non-interventionist country that scores after the war has already run its course.
No, isolationist America during World War II, fucking cha-ching.
Yeah, but we're not isolationists anymore at all.
We're gonna be. We're building a wall.
We're currently at war with the rest of the universe right now.
That's another way of saying isolationism, fighting a war on all fronts.
Rethink that sentence.
Why am I on trial? There's a Nazi running for president. Focus on him.
He's not a Nazi. He's not Hitler. He's Mussolini. He's a blowhard asshole.
It's a regular segment on this show is Jeff's surprisingly pro-Hitler thoughts.
Pro-Hitler. I'm saying, look, he had some good ideas. Hear him out. Listen to him. No, as Proops points out on one of his podcasts, Smartest Man in the World, it's like Hitler had a plan. He wasn't just fucking winging it. Like Mussolini was more of kind of a winging it and just appealing to the lowest common denominator.
Let's not praise Hitler just because Trump hasn't been elected yet. I'm sure Trump can fucking come up with a plan. Like it's hopefully in a post-Hitler world we're getting a little bit in the way. Like there's more people going and there's more internet. We're going like, are you about to be a Hitler? And he's like, no, I'm huge.
Saying that Trump is a low-level Hitler is not praising Hitler. It's not.
I'm saying, well, who cares who's praising Hitler or praising Trump or whatever? The important thing is that fascist dictators, they are. It's like when you put your bread out on a counter. Like, is the mold that grows on it a genius because it found the bread? It's like it's like opportunity breeds fascism. Like when countries are laid low, when the economy's fucked, when cultures start to shift so fast that there's a huge section of the population that's like kind of getting disoriented and starting to worry. Like they revert to this instinct for authoritarianism. And even in history class, it was like it was like economic depression, recession, all these things. It's a potting soil for dictators. dictators, in particular fascists, who want to nationalize everything, and they want to they pick a scapegoat, and they go like, what about these guys? How come they're making so much money, and or they're coming in and they're eating all our food stamps or whatever? You pick somebody, and you go like, what if we all just
thinking about people eating food stamps? It's like, just because we're called food stamps doesn't mean they're actual food.
No, it's just another reason to build a wall even higher, man. The important thing to know is that like when we have these conversations, we're like, you gotta hand it to him, or like, it's working. It's like, it's working because of us. Like, we need to like really make sure that we don't blow this story off after he loses the election, and there's crazy like race gangs running out in the streets going like, I don't know, I got all amped up about this, I guess I don't care about politics no more. Bing bong. I'm still unemployed. We need to understand, like, it's us. It's like that guy with the orange guy with the hair. He's, as Spencer points out, has been running for president for 38 years. Like, he's like, in one form or another, he's always been saying, someone pay attention to me. And then that birther thing started happening. It's like, it's an opportunistic infection. You have a gaping wound on your arm as a country, as we all are worldwide. Like, the economy is like, we're in vulnerable places, and so it's happening. This sentiment, it's like I don't want these people with the towels and these things with the browns and they're taking the jarbs and the thing, the taxes and the things, and why can't we have more guns? And they want the wall around the thing, and they put the wall underneath it. Why can't we can't do that? It's like it's starting. It's like those rumbles of like it's going to turn into it could turn into ugliness. Could turn into ugliness. But what was it? What was that? Wait. Here's the thing. This is the thing that terrified me when I was putting on my pants today. My dick is huge. I was thinking, like, and this is going to sound like a bit, but it's like, as far as the ratio between how much like a bit it sounds and how actually scary I think it is, it's like, I've never said anything with this high a ratio. I'm not even sure how to phrase the question. What percentage of like Hitler being able to come into power, like what percentage of it do you think might have been your average like kinda on the bubble, like constantly putting his foot in his mouth, straight white like Jim Belushi, Dan Harmon kind of like I'm always offended, like, because I just found myself thinking while I was putting on my pants, it's like heard something else that Trump said, or was thinking about that Star David thing, and I was like, the thought went through my head of like, well, it's good to know I'm not as racist as somebody. You know, like, it's good to know I'm not the biggest fucking doofus in the world. Yeah. And I was like I'm back. Like, in the 90s, being feminist, for instance, was as easy as expecting more from women. It changed over the years. Was like you were like, you go, girl. That was like a fucking, like, you were like, yeah, you can do it. It was like things change, and then you get so I wonder how many people are like with the Trump phenomenon. I wonder if that was something that could happen in like Germany, like back in those days where people were like, oh, finally somebody that makes me sound like I like Jews. Finally my daughter will stop rolling her eyes at everything I say at the dinner table. You know, I was like, I had this shudder. I was like, wait, is that the fucking tyranny? Is that what it is? Is that the wildfire that catches fire and burns up King's Landing? Like, it's the actual, just like, it's the oxygen, it's the styrofoam peanuts, it's the shit that coats the film in Inglourious Bastards, it's the actual accelerant isn't like the fucking like hard. It takes work to be a fucking redneck stump humping fucking like active like racist, where you're like, I'm gonna hit you with a stick because of your color. Like, geez, that guy is committed. what about the fucking mob around that person that's like, I know that's bad and I want to be liked. I know that's bad and I don't want to be a bad person. I don't know. Like what is the phenomenon that might happen? You know, like we have to be on guard against that, because like I just like feel that in my soul. Like there's these things eating away at the edges where I'm like, why am I trying so hard? Why do I try? Why? Well, they're like you know, and it's like there's important answers to those questions we all have to ask. So when you put on your pants next time, please join me at these heights of thought. Just asking the specific question. I just want to recap the question. How many people in pre-Nazi Germany do you think were a little bit like that became Hitler supporters, were anti-Hitler in their conversation, but then in some weird caloric valve part of them were like, they were like, oh, that guy's a goofball. He'll take all the pressure off me. You know, like
at that time, there was a lot of parties vying for power, and the Weimar Republic was falling to pieces, and there was all these provisional...
There were so many parties vying for power that they had to call it the Weimar Republic. Because they're like, vying is like, all right, keep going. Schwab hasn't been here and like, come up.
But there was a bunch of asshole meathead bully thugs that were running around with brown shirts on and kicking everybody's ass and blaming the economy, because the economy was fucked. There was this giant depression going on, and they're blaming it all on foreigners, which is what you see going on in all over Europe, also here. And then at some point, I think like when this certain really radical party starts saying like, we'll kick your ass if you don't agree with us that Jews are the problem and all this shit, and like really extreme stuff, I think a lot of people are like, look, I would just like the economy to get back on track, and we'll start following anybody that really has answers to getting the economy going, which is all baloney. It's all complete bullshit. It's not as simple as immigration, like or leaving the EU. It's like it's crazy talk. But I think people want simple answers when the economy is fucked and they're working class people, and they will listen to lunatic billionaires who say like, I'm on your side. They're not fucking on your side. They have nothing to do with you. They don't even know who you are. Also, everything they're saying, it makes no sense at all. The answer is, will average people start becoming okay with radical ideas? Yes, absolutely, they do. And what's happening all over the world right now in major democracies, including ours, and all over like France and England, like fascism, right-wing extremism, racism is on the rise. And
there's swastikas all over.
Absolutely.
All over, and it's the places that are collapsing first. The banks are closing. Well, then there's a swastika like 5 feet from there. You know, like in Greece and stuff. Like the National Socialism is,
The average person in Germany didn't hate Jews, but the average person was okay with like kind of going along with the flow, and also there was also Germany was a huge country full of different neighborhoods that believed in different things, followed different parties. Also, at some point, fear comes into it. The idea that speaking up for what you believe actually becomes illegal. And that's the scary thing, is that right now we're still we can still talk shit about Trump and talk shit about what the direction things are going, and it can still be comedy. That might go away before too long. That's the real danger, is that it's actually illegal.
Certainly, if you're out in the fringe and you're, for instance, painting, I don't know if that lady who was painting Trump with a little dick or whatever, and some guy runs up.
Public enemy number one.
Yeah, I mean, it's like if you, and it's like so what's the takeaway? I think it's that in the coming years, I don't think that Trump is going to get elected, but
I don't think that you should be that comfortable saying that. I think it's very, very likely.
Jesus Christ!
Because
well, okay, put a pin in that. But
people hate Hillary so much for whatever their reasons are, right or wrong. People despise her and will vote against somebody for whatever they believe about her, and they will also vote for this incredible quack. They will vote for him.
Well, I think the easy thing to say, though, because is disregard what you think the results of the election might be, because in either case, what's clear from this process, this fat orange manic bullet that shot or squirted out of a volcano, it represents magma underneath, and it's not. Well, this is where my lack of a geology degree will probably break this metaphor down, but it doesn't mean, oh, look at that really scary volcano that we have to deal with. Oh, it seems to have gone dormant. Like, that's why I really want people to understand, it starts with hero worship. It's in politics. It starts with this idea that we're waiting for somebody to, lead us or say the right things, or how the president's office is like so important and valuable, and it changes so much, and that's why we need the right person in that office. And if we could do and that really noble thought ends somewhere with like somehow you're making a pact with the devil where you're like, well, I'm not worth anything and I can't do anything and all this stuff. And then we're in this really dangerous time where we finally, for the first time, we've gotten this voice, like this first generation, to be raised in front of a keyboard with a blinking cursor in front of it. They've mastered the hashtag and the linguistic acrobatics that represent like not getting all fucking bent out of shape when a girl says she just wants to be friends. Like they're advancing the species like by leaps and bounds because they're able to interface with machines and psychologically keep a lid on shit. However, like the scary thing about that is that now we're all just like, we're like talking and we're talking and we're talking about what's right and what's wrong. And I hope we don't tailspin into like, oh man, did you see that racist TV show last night? Yeah, that was so racist. Did you hashtag it? Yeah, I did. While this shit continues to happen, it's like push may come to shove at a certain point, and it may not be the people that are saying the most eloquent, most progressive sounding things that are the people who, at the bottom line of it all, are just people who want the power to leave the hands of the few and go into the hands of the many. You may have to fight fucking fascism with anarchy. I don't know what else you fight it with. I put water on a fire myself. Like and the fact that anarchy to us means explosions and chaos is part of a 70-year indoctrination that started with like, let's make that word mean terrorism. It doesn't. It means no hierarchy. It means nobody has a right to tell you what to do. So like, we may have to. It's always scary, the spattering of applause, because it means that like what I hear is the silence between each. It was like oh, Harmon like said something really specific last night. Got that weird Chinese checkers applause. Yeah, but like guys with bowler hats going, "Heard you loud and clear, blokey, matey, milky, welly well."
But like our low level anarchism, the idea that we hate being told what to do, that the absence of rule doesn't mean chaos. It shouldn't mean
it doesn't.
That.
Anarchy doesn't mean no. It does not mean like stirring shit up. It doesn't have to. Anarchy means you don't think you have a right to tell other people what to do. You don't really respect their right to tell you what to do. You don't really see that as you may see that as a way to put out a fire, or get health insurance, or get shit done, keep people from getting hurt in a crowd situation, like that. But it's not an inherent need. You don't believe that people are these animals that, left to their own devices, are going to like start running around and doing fucked up shit unless there's an elite class that pays themselves to do nothing but think about how we should be mitigated. You just think that shit works the way it works, and
the idea that right now, like. Whether you like Hillary or you hate Trump or like Trump or hate Hillary, like whatever the fuck you think, or if you're a Bernie supporter and you're all disappointed about that, the idea that one human being is going to come along and make everything okay is crazy. It's really adolescent and really dumb. The idea that we need leadership from one person holding one office that used to be a shit fucking gig, a low-paid crap clerical gig in our constitutional government. It's really crazy. But right now, wouldn't we be really happy if anybody came along that could put a thoughtful sentence together and not irritate us? That's the danger of what's going on right now with this. It's going to be Hillary and Trump, and we're going to just go like, oh, I just wish somebody could talk, and I would like to hear them finish the goddamn thought. And that's horrifying. We shouldn't care about one person's fucking ideas. There should be a gigantic consortium of people getting together. Communities should fucking operate together. Families should operate together.
Well, we have the tools to do it right now, and like this is a generation that's actively like they're figuring out how to do that stuff. And I think that the next step, maybe it's not even thinking like waiting for some prophet to arise and like switch things. It's like it actually is just like, oh shit, we got these apps, we got this internet, we got it going. We can think and act locally, and we can give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Like because like just instead of just letting the We just came off.
But I
of
think
this
all we're
thing.
doing right now is voting for the next best Caesar. Like everybody is like
I know, but we don't. We could. You said there are some people in this audience that watch The Voice and American Idol, but they also watched Community. You know, like they can.
Dan, that's not true.
It means that you can say, like, when I'm interested in who's going to be the best singer in this season of the Best Singer show, I don't necessarily have to let that thought process trickle down into how I pass the salt to my friend over dinner. I don't have to, like, when they go, could you pass me the salt? I go, I don't know. How good are you at asking for passing the salt? You know, those glasses, like, don't look good on you. I think that smart look is stupid. Why don't you take them off and ask for the salt? All right, now give me a high C. I'd like the salt there. Now that's what I'm talking about. Now you've earned my salt because I watch American Idol. Like, no, you can watch American Idol and you can go, that's for that. You can elect a president and go, that's a person that if a Supreme Court justice dies, they have the power to, like, not, you know, like, there are certain things that, like, are important that we're voting for these people for, but it doesn't have anything to do with, like, whether your street has potholes on it and all that shit. I'm old and I'm busy, so good luck. But I do think, it's like what if we did enter an age when we were just voting for the least offensive person? What if that was their job? You know, and they didn't, you know, and then, like, what if you built, like, from the ground up, like, you built, like, this sort of, like, there was a word for it and there was a phrase for it, and it was anarchy because it didn't have leadership, because it didn't need it, because it did take advantage of technology faster than these people at the top could, and so that they found themselves in the most powerful position in the world, but it was in charge of a fucking slab of marble that couldn't be cracked, couldn't be lifted, and couldn't be moved. That they're like, I'm on top of it, kind of lonely up here and windy. I get to jump off in 4 years or stay on for another 4. And the people that don't fuck up get to stay up there, and we're down here going, like, we figured it out. It has to do with, on a molecular level, going, like, I think our biggest challenge right now is we've been so stoked about how much cleaning needs to be done around the apartment that you ever get one of those tantrums where you're like, fuck all this shit, fuck it, shit. It's like you're just throwing away, like, Bibles and, like, new pens, you know, like, and money. Like, I'm going to take, like, a fistful of pennies, and you're like, fucking pennies, fucking pennies. Like when you're, like, cleaning your office or whatever, and you're like it's a fucking, like, it's just, it brings, like, this rage out in you that is, like, against clutter, and you're like I want to simplify my life. I think we've hit the peak of that with the whole woke kind of thing, like, where we're calling out racism, we're calling out negative thought, we're exposing, like we're like, what the fuck has this person ever done for me? Another person that turns out to hate women, no big surprise. And it's like, and everything has to go in the garbage right now because we're, like, cleaning out our space. But, like, we are going to have to get to a point where, if that space is going to be of any use, we're going to have to be like, well, not everything that goes in this room needs to be the Mona Lisa, because this isn't a museum. This is an office or a living room or a parlor. You know, like, my friend has some regressive thoughts about women. He hasn't scratched that off on his bingo card yet. He's really, really, like, super amazing about race. He really hates women. Like, I'm not gonna just record him over lunch and then post it on Facebook and expose him as a thing. Like, I'm gonna actually work with him and kind of polish him like a stone, like with my water, you know. I'm gonna and strangers that I find out are regressive, are ignorant, and because they haven't talked to as many people that look like me yet. I'm gonna do something really difficult, which is, like, I'm just gonna, like, have this be this billboard for people that this person has never talked to, and I'm gonna make every experience a positive one, or I don't know what the fucking definition is, but it's, like, it's way harder than finger pointing and shaming and chanting and, like, pushing down another pillar and watching another thing that was resting on it collapse. Like, I think that we've got a good 6 months left of that before it gets, like, aren't we just, when the guy running, like, one of the two people running is just, like, this turd person, like, he's not going to do anything with that rubble. Like, he's not going to, like, go, thank you very much, and now I'm going to take that and we're going to build a big monument to women with it. Like, he's not going, he's going to go, like, let's make missiles with this rubble. It's going to be up to us, like, how we interior decorate the nation. Yeah, we should do it. We'll do it on the moon. Maybe Elon Musk will, like, after his cars kill people, maybe we can like merge with him and he'll like give us a.
Right before you said to do it on the moon, the original like joke premise of this podcast was like let's find like-minded people and colonize another place and make things okay. Like we're gonna have to like start like making colonies of like-minded people here and actually let that become revolutionary.
You know where we're gonna start doing it, Jeff? Where we pick the people that get to help us at the Comic-Con Harmontown show.
Oh shit! Wait, are you talking about the one July 22nd?
At the what theater? At the Balboa Theater?
The Balboa Theater?
The one who apparently our ticket sales are so shit that we have to shoehorn this into our own show?
Apparently the show that's got showrunners so worried that they're calling Steve Levy and saying, you guys got to sell tickets or we're going to have to nix this whole thing.
Not me, showrunner.
Not showrun, like the ones that run the shows having. What do they call them? Stage peoples. Right?
Stage peoples.
Stage peoples?
Stage peoples.
Oh, yeah. Big time. You know what else happens?
Wait, how many seats is the Balboa Theater, Steve Levy?
So many.
1,000? Oh, we can do 1,000 on our fucking heads.
I mean, we don't even have to, but we aren't even doing not even 1,000.
How much? What's the ticket price at the Balboa Theater?
$24.
$24?
Yeah.
Okay, fuck it, don't go.
That's
too much.
That's a lot of
That's
money.
their problem. It should be
here.
fucking. I would say 12 tops.
I would say your $10 here is a little unfair. I think you're getting ripped off a little bit to the tune of $2 to $4. I would call this a $8 to $6
Also,
show.
at Comic-Con, you're going to be
Steve's shaking his head.
$24. You have to be in San Diego, which is you should have to get $24 back just for entering San Diego.
That is true.
It sucks. It's a terrible city.
We're smart people. We can figure this out.
Have you tried Mexican food in San Diego? You think it would be great. It's right by it. It's right by Mexico.
Yeah.
And you'd be fucked if you can get a fucking proper taco without leaving you have to get out of San Diego to get Mexican food.
You'd be fucked.
Huh?
If you try to get a taco.
Yeah.
You're going to the wrong places.
Look. Yes,
all bad.
I know the San Diego people here. We'll meet after the show. You tell me where to go get tacos, and I will tell you that it's not in San Diego. You're just outside of town. You have to get out. You have to go it's not a walk from Comic-Con. You have to get into a car to get fucking food there.
Let's find out. Let's ask ourselves.
I'm saying don't go to Comic-Con. Don't go to the Balboa Theater on July 22nd. I don't think you have the guts to prove me wrong.
I guess there's that.
I've been to your shitty town.
I would say, let's figure out if this is a $10 show.
Every guy has a wallet chain.
Well, we'll give out free prizes at the Comic-Con.
If you're walking into an establishment and the bouncer has a wallet chain on, you're in a terrible place.
Let's figure out if this
barbed wire tattoos. Nope.
If this is a $10 show.
No.
Then we just need to figure out what a $12 show is, which is as easy as raising this one 20% in terms of quality, and then doubling that for San Diego.
Right.
That's all I wanted to say for
5
the last-
hours.
What's that?
We go for 5 hours.
I don't think that increases the value of our show.
I will have no respect for anybody that pays to see our show in San Diego. I will be mad at everybody that comes there and has put down $24 at the Balboa Theater on July 22nd. And not just because Dan and I are going to do an all-nude review to start the show. I'm saying that's not a reason to go see it.
And we'd also be really mad if you made a website using Squarespace. Even though they use an intuitive design that works across all platforms.
Also, maybe you live in LA, all you people here. Maybe driving down to San Diego, don't listen to audible.com. I don't care how reasonable the prices are to listen to your favorite novels online.
Or even if you get a free book with sign up.
Yeah, I know. And I don't care if you're wearing my undies, the softest underwear.
Well, who needs reads books anyway? When you know, it's like all you people out there with your stupid Warby Parker glasses, which we also don't want you to get. And when you get them, don't use them to look at fullscreen.com's content. And
Even though it only costs as much as a cup of coffee. A cup of coffee.
a cup of giant coffee a month. Yeah.
For a month.
But I think the reverse thing has to work. But I think you have to say to them, like, don't come, or if you do, I'll kiss you to death.
Will it be on CISO?
The Comic-Con show? No, it won't. You won't be able to see it. You know what we should do? We should not record it.
Oh, shit.
Master Blaster, run, Bartertown! No more pig shit!
Fuel! Are you threatening our audience?
That's right. Drive to San Diego and give us $24.
I want everyone to prove me. Someone take me to get to the best taco place in San Diego, so I can not be mad at San Diego.
Tacos El Gordo.
Tacos El Gordo.
Tacos what?
El Gordo.
Eduardo.
El Gordo.
El Duardo. El Guardo.
I'll tell you after the show.
El Guardo.
El Gordo. Gordo. Fat. Gordo. Gordo.
El
Fat.
Gordo.
Yeah.
Fatty tacos.
Something like that.
All right.
Who's like who's a huge
Me.
who's a huge Harmontown fan and like maybe I don't know. Well, I was gonna say has like a degree in marketing, but maybe in your own head you do. Like you think you know. Like you're sitting here, a young lady raised her hand there. Like would you like to come up and just? No, you don't want to. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, right here.
Wait, we'll keep him in mind. We'll put him on deck.
She's charging the stage. I love it.
Yeah. What's your name? Savannah.
Savannah, have a seat. Grab a mic.
I think they're. Oh, here. Here, you
Get
use
her a
this.
mic.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay. I switched mics for those of you in the control booth.
If you like, Savannah, you can pull
Oh
off
no,
the
you can.
stand.
Sit and here. Let's get rid of this. You piece of shit. You piece of shit. Why is it there? It's made of pennies. Did you ever throw away pennies when you're cleaning your office or your room
I
or something?
can't be bothered to like organize things, so I just throw it all in a
Do you
bag.
ever throw away books?
Yeah, well, a couple
You
times.
feel guilty, right? Like, 'cause you're like, it's like knowledge and it's
Yeah, especially if I like paid for them for school. I just like, but
even
there's
if
so
you
much
didn't,
anger.
What is that guilt we feel about throwing away books?
I don't
when
throw.
we're-
I don't throw away books
Well,
because I would feel too guilty about it.
okay. Well, what is that guilt? What is it?
Somebody put a lot of effort into a book. I think I couldn't like even if I hate the book.
We don't treat it as the physical thing that it is. We treat it as the ideas it represents. Like, when you work in books, you're like, this is fucking garbage, and you're ripping covers off shit. It's like a really weird, harrowing experience. I'd assume it's a lot like working in the meat industry, you know? Where soon enough you're just banging calves against walls and shit. Yeah, look it up.
It could even be a subjective guilt that's like the equivalent of throwing away a barbell. You're like, that you never used. Like, you're like, oh, am I really committing to that? Yep, throwing away the barbell. And also the garbage man's going to be like, Jesus Christ. He's all ripped.
It's 9/11.
It's 9/11.
Savannah?
Yes,
like
Savannah.
Like the biome?
Yes, exactly like the biome, but with only one N. So the biome, but with one N.
Savannah?
Savannah, yeah.
Where apes supposedly started walking upright to see over the tall grass and then to free their hands for tool use. But not true, the Savannah theory.
Okay.
Wiped off the charts in 1995 by virtue of finding a new semi-human that had nutrients in its bones that could not have been the result of eating food on the Savannah. So we're living in a world where we don't know where humans came from.
Aquatic ape.
All right, so... but I'm sure it's a beautiful name. So what do you think? You're a big Harmontown fan, and you're thinking like, when you apply your mind to how we could get people to show up to the Balboa Theater on Friday. Oh yeah, you didn't know I was going to twist it to that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, what did you think I was going to ask?
I don't know. I thought maybe you had a theory or something. I didn't know. My boyfriend just told me to raise
What's
my
your
hand.
favorite aspect of Harmontown?
The prizes.
The cash giveaways.
The prizes and free alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you want a drink? Is that
No,
what you're saying?
actually, I'm okay. Thank you. I'm driving.
No, but it's, like
Have a drink, Savannah.
What's a thing? Put it this way. So say I'm like a businessman that like bought Harmontown, and I'm like, I want to make Harmontown. I'm gonna give it to people. I'm gonna do something like I won't get specific, but like you've been called in as like a Harmontown expert. Like all the other Harmontown listeners have been wiped out in some like pretzel factory explosion or like during like dollar tours because they're frugal, they're practical, they love sodium. My demographic, this is stuff. Look, polls don't lie. You guys love pretzels. So they're all wiped out, and you're kind of like you're sort of like the person who's in charge of like representing the demographic that is like that listens to the show. And so some like suit is like hauling you in and going like what? Well, so what's the deal with it? Why don't I just get rid of it? And what parts of it do I preserve? What's the point? And like what kind of things would you?
Well, I'm sorry to all the other Harmontown fans who are gone, but I think they would probably, if they were still there, would like maybe some of Jane's alcohol merchandise for Harmontown. Maybe give that
bring
away.
some. I have some at my house. We could bring it to give away to the fans.
If you give it away in like bottles, like maybe
Well, the
even
problem is
little.
that's highly illegal for like various federal reasons.
So figure that out.
Yes, yeah. He's not allowed to license his own booze.
Okay. And maybe more free T-shirts. More free T-shirts.
T-shirts. Oh, I think we have a shit ton of T-shirts.
Yeah.
We could just,
An Instagram contest, maybe, if you want to get the young people.
Instagram
or
contest.
Snapchat contest.
How does that work? How does it?
Well, you would just give them a time limit to submit things on whatever platform you're going to use. For Snapchat, if you create like a filter for your show, it's $5 for just the evening, for just the area that you're doing it in.
What?
And yeah, $5.
I'm gonna do that tonight.
20,000 square feet.
Just a big old dick.
I don't
You're in
understand.
Larchmont, bitch. Yeah.
Hashtag Spencer Dick.
No, just Larchmont.
I actually don't understand. Can you? Because I want to understand.
So do you use Snapchat?
I have.
Yes, okay. So on Snapchat, there are the filters you can use that companies can create. You can also create them for communities if you're not making any money off of it. And those are free if you get them approved and they meet the community guidelines, which I'm not sure if you're...
No, it will. It's great.
Okay.
I know a guy
You're
at
saying
Snapchat.
we could do like an exclusive Harmontown
Yeah.
Snapchat thing that puts a dick on your head or whatever.
Exactly. So you would create the filter. It's really easy to do. I've done it
Oh, and
for
it
a
only
lot of
works
events.
in that geo.
Yeah, you do
area.
a geofence. If for 20,000 square feet, you can do for like $5 for the day. You can do it.
And how does that also apply? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. You're a fountain
go
of
ahead.
information. I'm like putting my thumb over you. But I also is there something similar to do that with Instagram?
For Instagram, it would be different. You wouldn't necessarily do a filter, though. Someone could take it with their Snapchat, take it with a filter, and then upload that to Instagram. Because now Instagram doesn't have a limit. You don't just have to do square photos. You can do the
All right.
vertical ones, and then they could throw that on there. So you could do it either way. I would say do it separately. It's a little too much work. You want something really quick. So you would have them send it to you, like create like a Harmontown Snapchat account, and then everyone would take photos and then send it on their story, but also send it to the Snapchat account for Harmontown, and you pick the favorite one. You could broadcast them on the screen. You could do a lot of different things with it.
Maybe we could use one of those hashtags.
You could use a hashtag.
All right. So how can I pervert this into a way to? Because I don't. The only thing I need help with is getting people into the Balboa Theater on the 22nd.
I'm saying don't come.
That's what we'll put on the Snapchat filter. Anyone in the area will know.
Well, you could do it so they would only be able to use the filter if they were in that area. and then you'd have to take a photo with the filter, or they'd have to tag themselves there. They have to take a picture maybe with someone, something that shows that they were at the event, or they just have to promote it themselves. So maybe they're not going, but they're saying go.
So people who, this is the age-old thing of anyone who comes to this thing is eligible maybe for a thing that's
to do something
at the top
there.
of that is a big deal. I'm gonna.
Restaurants do that. Like The Habit, when they open something new, they'll do that where you have to go and you take a photo with their Snapchat filter, and then they give you free swag with The Habit on it, which is not maybe some people are really into The Habit, so you want a Habit hat. But for other people who want Harmontown swag, they could take a photo, and then if there's evidence they did that, then they could get something free when they check in with their ticket at the door.
What if you and a friend? But I want this to be contingent on all 1,000 seats filled.
We could give them free Habit
The
hats.
prize is whatever the contest is. The prize is that then you and a friend, because we want it to be just technically an abduction. They come home with me and my friends on the party bus that I booked to go back, and then they come and they live in my house and they just come to work with me. But it's the fine print is you're getting up at 7 a.m. sometimes, and my dogs are gonna Harvey will roll over and do a submissive pee on you. I don't make breakfast. You'll be drinking Soylent.
You don't keep food in the house, really.
But you can stay in I have a guest room, and then you could then you could just come. You just come if I could put you in a backpack, I would but you just or handcuff you to me, and you would I would just write Rick and Morty, and you'd be there, and that would be thrilling for some people.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Even the chance at it might make 1,000 people show up.
Yeah.
But maybe that's the contingency. Is 1,000 people didn't show up, so the top prize is a T-shirt.
That sounds great.
All right, we'll figure something like that out.
Yeah, it sounds like
that's what
me.
Because I'm I don't do stuff when I go home at night, sit on a bowl of ice cream or look at I don't have a shoebox of Polaroids or anything. So that's a resource I have where I could just have a person. This isn't an invitation to stalk me, but I'm just saying my life is compatible with just a person walking around. That's what Spencer and Steve Levy are. They just
we all cohabitate.
Yeah, we're just a family. So maybe
awesome.
maybe that's a luxurious package. I think that's what we did for the AIDS thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for Rick and Morty. They're gonna come out and.
Sorry, Jeff did a thing. It was great.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
Rick and Morty did an AIDS thing.
Yeah, where you could the more you donate, you were eligible for a thing where you do a voice on Rick and Morty, and then I think you hang out. But maybe it'll be
we still gotta do that, right? Right? Yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
But Dan, you were talking about earlier about hanging out in Comic-Con is kind of a bummer. It's it would be fun to have a little party space. What if we had a little our own little?
Oh, well, we'll be hanging out at the Geek and Sundry Lounge.
Is that right?
Yeah, just go there. It'll be fine. What are they gonna do?
All right, Savannah, you want to see what this other guy has to say, maybe?
Yeah, sure.
All right, you're not afraid of a little competition. Why don't you come up, sir? You know who you are. Your nose and take it, Mike. Hello, sir.
Are you Luke?
I'm Zach.
Zach.
Yeah.
Wait, did you bring me the booze?
No.
No, that was Luke.
He looks like me though. That was another guy that was bald with a beard.
Oh.
There are many of us here tonight.
Oh yeah.
I'm among my people.
And it's just it's to beat the heat. You're not a neo-Nazi.
I'm certainly not.
He's got one of those Hillary stars on his shirt.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Oh, Stars of David on your shirt?
They're Chicago stars.
Yeah, that they actually do look more like. It's fine.
I don't like the placement though, because they're right by me.
What are we doing?
So, Tom, we're getting to know Zach, and we're welcoming him and not terrorizing him.
I want to, now that I know that.
All right. Well, I'll fill you in more carefully. Jesus Christ! I know. So the tail wags the dog around here.
Like this?
He's in a good mood, I think.
Yeah.
What's he really like?
Are you guys comfortable? We want you to feel that way.
As long as I'm amongst you and Dan and Jeff, I'm comfortable.
Zach,
Well, that's
and
not
I'm
very
sorry, what was your
often
name
in
again?
your life, apparently.
Savannah.
Nice to meet you.
Savannah with one N. Zach, what were you going to say? You said, because I'm curious, because I made the dumb Nazi joke about your shaved head. For those who are listening, he has a shaved head. And you said it's not to beat the heat, and you didn't finish. What is it?
It's just simply because I don't want to have a receding hairline, and I've got like a little bald spot back here. I'm actually I'm about 3 days past the last time I shaved my head, so you can start to see it a little bit. And
Where do you do? How do you? What, do you go? Do you go to a barber, or do you just do it yourself now?
No, I just put shaving cream on, and
So
I got one of those like Mach 17 blade.
Oh, really? Do you bick it like?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That seems like a
do you get,
tremendous effort.
I
It's not
shave-
really. It's really easy and very,
I just can't
very
even begin to
satisfying.
imagine what every fucking
It's not
conceivable
a
row.
straight razor.
No,
They've got,
I'm holding like a bic, like a.
But no, not one of the that, I've got like the Mach or Gillette something. That it's got like a rotating ball that has a bunch.
A Phantasm 2000?
Yes, it is a fantastic.
Boy! First, the first metal ball comes in and terrorizes your soul. The second ball kidnaps your body, fills it with formaldehyde, and fuck it.
Yeah. How many of those balls were there? I just remember
3.
There were 3 of them.
There were 3. I only ever saw Phantasm 2,
Which was fucked up.
I thought I was going to a movie theater. I was a kid, and it was a rated R movie, and I was with adults, meaning like my brother's friends, and like. I didn't know the word phantasm. I was confusing it with Fantasia.
Oh.
And so I was like, why are we
Completely
going to
different
see
movie.
Phantasm 2? Who cares what happened to those broomsticks? Clearly the lesson was don't play with magic when the wizard's gone. I think that lesson is like learned. And I was like, what the hell's going on? But I just want to fit in. And then it was a fucking crazy, really cool horror movie. Phantasm 2.
Yeah,
is
imagine if the tall man had the outfit that Mickey was wearing with the hat. It would have been even better.
How is that? What are the rules there? Well, you just put on a fucking hat and all of a sudden you can make animated golems and shit out of brooms?
He had a book, I think a spell book.
He just touched... Oh, wait, maybe he did. All right, that tracks. I always thought that was like high-level magic he was tapping into. It was hard to
Well, it
believe.
was pretty. I mean, he made an army of...
Self-replicating broom men.
Yeah, that is crazy.
But then he gets more than he bargained for at some point, right?
Oh,
An army of self-replicating
Always.
broommen. Yeah.
that's what magic does.
It's always more than what you bargain for. That's what it says on the cover of that book.
Yeah.
All right, so what are your thoughts about and listen, bonus points for if you have thought about taking it into the Balboa specificity. How do I move asses into seats for July 22nd?
Well, I'm in advertising. I'm in digital advertising, so I design digital ads and fingers, digital fingers, digits. Yes,
Like
I
digital
design
advertising is the easiest because you're like, hey, you have 10 of them.
digits. Yeah,
Why not 11?
yeah. It's all. I mean, digital advertising is essentially this.
I'm so
it's like,
sorry.
here they are. They're all
sorry.
here, all 10 of them.
Zach, just pretend Dan's not here.
Too late.
So you shave your head, but you leave the beard. Okay.
This is how I produce a jawline.
Oh, okay.
I know what you mean, man.
If I don't have this, I look like a Muppet.
Yeah. What does that term neckbeard mean? You know, I always get so scared because they're like,
It's when there's no defining line underneath.
but that's good. I mean, I'm not.
It depends.
You have made a defining line, but
If you have a good, strong jawline, if you're like Jay Cutler from the Bears,
right.
who can do that and get away with it.
When it's bad, it looks kind of like a mane. Like you're just a fat lion. Like it's not a beard on your chin, it's like this hairy ring around your neck.
Yeah,
That's like the failure of the neck beard, I think.
yeah.
So Zach, when you're doing the beard, Is that all razor? Are you doing electric around that? How do you?
Oh no,
because
this
it's
is
laser precise.
This is with a Bic too.
Really? So you just
I actually have 2 razors that I use. I use the bald Gillette 17 blade thing for this, and I use the Bic for this.
Also, am I wrong in saying, Zach, that you also go on top of the mustache?
Yes, I've had a beard since I was about 3 years old. So I've been able to perfect the grooming of said beard.
Well, then let me ask you
grow
this.
a nice mustache or a beard. I have very splotchy, patchy Johnny Depp used car salesman.
Well, you have a very beautiful face. You don't need to have... I mean, facial hair, I think, is for people that are kind of ashamed of their face. Like I am.
But you're a very handsome guy, Zach.
I've got a great beard.
Are you saying if you...
But you have great hair.
Are you saying if we saw you without that beard that we would go like, oh my God?
Yeah, I wouldn't be up
Have you
here
ever
right
seen?
now.
Don't you get a little mad when you see so? Well, like Daniel Gillies last week, he had a beard. Like when handsome guys have beards, like it is kind of like it pisses you off.
Because it's the whole.
It's like you can tell that it's like yeah, it is weird. It's like it almost looks like they're in disguise.
It's the whole like lumberjack, lumbersexual thing that goes on.
Lumbersexual. Yeah. I kind of have to. I'm into mannequins. I'm kind of a lumbersexual.
But
do you guys think,
just the leg, though, right?
I got this haircut because I was on Larry King Now. Larry King Now. It's like TV Guide magazine. I got a haircut because I was going to be on webisodes of what used to be TV, and I thought it was a great haircut, and then Cody was laughing because she said that in the back he made me look like a Lego.
I saw that. It's a little too precise.
She's like, really? She was like taking pictures of me from behind. She wanted to do a split screen with like Lego guy. I guess I looked at it and I was like, yeah, I guess I was pretty straight that he did that. But I mean, I would have never. All right. All right. So digital advertising. What do you think? What do we do to get some butts in the Balboas?
My initial instinct is to think visually when advertising, and you've got 3 strapping young men up here that are part of the podcast. That I think we just do a shot with you guys in the same outfits that they're wearing in Now You See Me.
I don't think that's gonna. I mean,
it is. It's a. You listen to it.
Yeah,
it's a podcast.
It's just like we don't have budget for like a bus stop ad. I'm gonna say like all I can think of is bribery. Like show up.
That's what I'm saying.
And also
prizes.
promises. Like okay, so sometimes when we go abroad,
we'll build a wall.
Like you go like well sometimes you get sometimes the traveling shows are the drunkest of all. Like maybe what if it was like okay, I promise you. Like, what are some features of a show? Like, I'm not going to say I'm not going to be drunk, but I will say I won't be blackout drunk when I take the stage. And to prove that, I'll prepare bits. Like, what's like a bit? If I were to do Savannah, if I were to do bits like a top 10 list, like what kind of like what could come out of the Harmontown psyche that you think would be like a good like kind of feature that you like. Like Harmon's thoughts, or like I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh no, it's okay. Well, from the Comic-Con show last year, like kind of going over some of the things you saw at Comic-Con that maybe you could, then talk about for an extended period of time. So maybe your top 10 worst moments at Comic-Con, or moments that made you cringe, or moments that really made you connect with your culture.
You should dress as Poison Ivy.
But that's not. I mean, they're going to be like, okay, cool, dress like Poison Ivy. I'll look that up on.
If you can guarantee like guests, but maybe don't say exactly who they are, but like kind of give hints as to who they might be that are vague enough that people won't be disappointed.
Yeah, that's what we do, Dan. We just say that we have an awesome guest.
Have a couple awesome guests.
Spencer and I are both gonna dress as Slave Leia.
And Star Wars 8 is going to make an appearance.
Curtis Armstrong. We'll text it. We'll text Curtis Armstrong. I heard him.
Yeah. By the way, where is Curtis? Have we lost him forever? What's going on?
Thank you, Zach.
Yeah. What happened to Curtis?
He said some racist shit to me in the parking lot. And, And I was like, dude, that's cool, but like people should know you're racist. Yes. And he's like, I don't care about my image, Dan. And I said, yes, you do. And he said, no, dude. People with different colored skin from me are less people. And I was like, Curtis, if anyone could hear you saying this right now, they'd be so brokenhearted. And he said, that's the point, baby.
That guy and Christopher Walken sound the exact same. Same.
Wait, Curtis Armstrong. I think I only have...
Zach, do you have any impressions? Like at a party, who can you break out as an impression?
Hasn't been on the show.
I mean, I can do a slight walk-in, but
give me a slight walk-in. Give me a slight walk-in ordering breakfast.
All right, well, Levy, make sure Curtis Armstrong is. Make sure we connect with him and see if he can do the show at the Balboa, and I'll pay him. Tell him he's got us over a barrel. And then if you come to the Balboa show,
which you shouldn't,
guaranteed photograph and
parking lot HJs.
I won't. I never really do this except at this show anyway. But it's like when we go out of town, I've been entering a phase where I'm kind of like, I don't want to do the thing. So like guaranteed for sure. No matter how many of you show up at the Balboa, if you paid to get in, then part of that price is you're guaranteed. We'll have to figure out where to go. Possibly, maybe they'll need the theater. But I'll do a whole line thing or
tacos.
Figure out how you get a picture. You get a picture. It sounds presumptive. Try to understand. I'm a writer, so it sounds weird to try to sell that, because it's like it's a thing. But that would be that to me is like a basic thing. Like, oh, it's $24. We're driving to San Diego. I'm definitely going to get a photograph for sure in good lighting. Why are you shaking your head, Steve? Oh, because it's 1,000 people and it'll take technically until Monday to do it. Well, I've done it. I've done it before.
So you're gonna debut the Justice League trailer, and make a fake Justice League trailer and
Oh, I could show something. Write that down. Like, maybe I could bring like a Rick and Morty clip, like in secret.
Yeah. Because it's right before we drop all the Harmon Quest episodes, let's just show all the Harmon Quest episodes.
It'll be after.
Even though CISO's not coming to that, and they have no part of it.
Comic-Con's after we drop Harmon Quest. Speaking of which, we just wrapped Harmon Quest. 11 days. 11 days until you got to get CISO.
All right, if you come to the Balboa Theater on
July 22nd, I will be there on stage. Do you think they have like airplay like capability? Like, do you think we could get them to do like a projection thing? All right.
No, we can.
We'll look into this.
No, we'll do that.
I will. I'll write
a special Comic-Con episode of Rick and Morty.
Live.
No, it should be more. I was like I'll write the Community movie or like the first act of it. Right. Or I'll get as much through it as I can while you watch. I'll start like
you'll just see the final drafts up on the screen.
Yeah, like fade in and like I'll start writing the Community movie until the show starts.
Yeah.
And I will. Yeah. I like that.
And then prizes.
And then there'll be prizes, and Spencer's gonna dress as Poison Ivy. Savannah's gonna be there, like doing like a Cirque du Soleil thing. She'll do her aerial ribbon act. It's amazing. You have to see it. All right. Well, thanks to our PR department, Savannah, Zach, and Savannah. All right. Thank you. What a great generation, Jeff. Thanks, Zach. You know, they say these millennials that they're pieces of shit.
I don't see it.
But you fundamentally disagree with that.
Yeah, I do. I see hope in them.
What do you think separates the millennials from our generation?
I think they're more dishonest about how racist they are. They've found new ways to tap dance around it. They're the Baryshnikovs of actual racism. They come to the table more Apple compatible for sure. That's always good. I don't think they're worried about Y2K as much as my generation did. Do you want to come up here? Yeah. No, you can't say. Okay. All right. It's please, everybody, please welcome my coworker, John Eidson. All right. Is it just Eidson?
It's Edson, actually.
Where's the I?
It's silent.
Yeah.
All right, your last name is Eidson.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your buddy?
Well, he's off in Tahoe for 4th of July, so he's going to be very sad that he wasn't here.
John, whose name I just learned isn't his partner's name, Nick.
You're really selling that I'm a coworker here.
Yeah. We sold a idea to FX called Happy City, which is going to be like it's like a Thomas the Tank Engine kind of thing, but it's like it's friends and they're hanging out.
Yeah, it's a taxi and a helicopter and an ambulance
and another taxi.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they hang out. They're millennial vehicles.
I think they're sold on it already. Yeah.
In the big city, Happy City, and it's hard to be in the Happy City, especially when like one of the characters, and I'm not going to spoil it. It's Tyler the taxi. You're not that happy.
Oh shit!
But really, we've been calling it Friends or Seinfeld without arms.
Yeah. When we sold the show, I don't think we realized how hard it was going to be to write for characters that can't pick things up.
You wouldn't believe how many fucking conversations we had. Like that's the thing. Like people don't understand. Like tonality in television is like this totally fractal, continuum-based thing. Like there is no like is it gonna be like funny like Chappelle show? Or is there going to be funny like Larry Sanders? It's like no, it's like you there's questions that you don't know that you don't have the answers to until you ask them. Like for instance, on Rick and Morty, the whole big decision we had to make when we were writing the pilot for Rick and Morty, Justin and I, we had to have like a 3-hour conversation, and the end of it all was just saying, look, I don't know how to define the rules of the universe, but we're just going to say, if a kid comes through a portal into his high school cafeteria, it doesn't change his social status within the high school. It's more like he came in on a skateboard. Like he came in through the portal, but he fell down. Like the cute girl that he has a crush on says, "Did you just come through a portal? Like, did you just do that?" But she doesn't mean like, "Is there a God?" Like and are you the Messiah? And does this change everything? It's not even like pulling up in a Ferrari in the 80s. It's like it's just like so you make these decisions. So we had to make the decision that these are cars and helicopters and fire trucks and shit, and everything's alive, but they have to have apartments. And
the apartments also have to have personalities.
Yeah. So yeah, if you come to this show with questions about internal logic, you're purposely fucked.
Yeah, leave your logic at the door.
Yeah, but
Donnie the door.
Like
are other things than humans and vehicles alive? Like
yeah, the whole city is alive. It's kind of
there's people.
Yeah, but we kind of see the people like flies, like horses see flies and just kind of brushing them off.
Yeah, so like taxis like take them and dump them off, or like but if your friend's an ambulance and then he's like, hey Tyler, do you want some people? Yeah, I do. That's my job. And then like he pulls up and like throws some people from the ambulance into the taxi. But then your boss will yell at you about that later because you're not supposed to do that. Like an ambulance is supposed to take the people to the hospital. You're not supposed to just because you're a taxi take people out of an ambulance.
And the hospital also being a character.
Do the cars? Let's say it's just two cars hanging out, like best friends. Do they go out to a restaurant and sit at a car restaurant?
Yes. But it's not a car restaurant. It's just a restaurant.
They're not,
because
they're not drinking motor oil. They're eating pancakes and floating drinks to their faces.
How are they seated? Like, are they seated like
they just pull up to the table. Okay. but then if there's like we had a long time because like if somebody's talking and it's like clear, like if there's a subplot about like, well, I think that person might be gay, but they're not admitting it yet, and then these two people have been talking about it, but this person says something that this car, and the helicopter's like saying something, but then you pan over to the other taxi and they don't have arms, so there's just a knife and fork floating in front of them, but their eyes are going. All right,
which is a universal language.
Yeah, it's like, but they don't have arms, so it's just a knife and fork floating. But they're going. Ew.
So
somebody's gay.
Apartment. Is there like a shot of a car just laying in bed, like wondering what he's doing with his life?
If he's sick, if a car is sick, is he in bed? We haven't. I guess so.
I feel like we're gonna have to get back to you on that one.
Because the alternative would be that he's at Jiffy Lube and it's dumb.
Yeah.
Like once you start Yankovicing it, you're fucked.
Yeah, like initially we pictured them going into houses or apartments and then going to their rooms, and they have a little garage inside of their room that they go into, which became a little too cute, I think.
Yeah.
So now...
I was saying for a while, well, when they hang out, they should just be at an intersection. Like, yeah. But then it's like, well, how many episodes of this are we going to do? And how much of a 25-year-old's life is about cohabitation and about landlord conflict and about property value? And like, aren't they going to get texts? And like, and for a while I was like, well, maybe they don't get texts. Let's rise above it. And like, but it's like, there's no fucking way. Like, so the cars just have phones that'll just float out in front of them, and then they text each other, and they live in apartments.
If the cars, let's say like one of your main characters is a car. And goes to would they go to a rock concert? And if they go to the rock concert, would it all just be cars? Would there be people there too, or just cars?
There would be people, like if you squint or freeze frame, there would be people climbing all over the place. Because like there is a plane of the universe where this show is actually about the people who don't understand why their cars are doing all this. But we had a long time where I was saying, oh, you have to hold it up to both realities, where every episode, if you watch every frame, you like everything makes sense in some weird way that like the way that we're controlled by brain chemicals. So I was like, why did that guy take a hatchet to his family? Well, like because he's schizophrenic, but also had a little bit, just a touch of Asperger's, and then it was Tuesday, and so, but the truth is like
some forensic files.
There's just like it's like how much what is the difference between free will and destiny? And we don't really know. We just feel like we're making these choices. So why wouldn't these cars just feel like they're having these stories where they're like, "Fuck you, buddy," and then they drive away? But in the reality, on the people's side, if you look at it, you can see two tiny people that are like mad at each other as well, and like, but I think we let that go.
Yeah, now it's just cars that go to a rock concert. Yeah, probably.
And there's people like just climbing all over the place.
Maybe we'll have the Easter egg of what the people are doing, but ultimately, I think it's kind of that maybe the Team America thing of how do the cars play basketball. Let's figure it out.
And how
we haven't made it yet,
was the big
so that's
thing.
going to be the next
step. So the cars are playing basketball. What is the diameter of the basketball? Who made the basketball? They're like, no, it's just a car. It's proportionate to the car. So like, oh, if a person got out of that car, that'd be a giant basketball. No, it's a basketball for the cars. It's dribbling next to them. They have no arm. Deal with it. And the way we're dealing with it is we're going to have a live action mayor. I think we should put out the call right now. We'd like it to be Michael Shannon, actor Michael Shannon.
If anyone knows him.
And in between scenes, we'd like to just go back to the mayor's office and have fucking freaky Michael Shannon just like intensely ask a lot of the questions that you were about to ask, and then answer them with like, I don't know, being mayor doesn't mean I'm in control, like I don't. Like all I know is that when two friends are jealous of a third friend, like that shit goes down. That the stories are held together by emotional. Because also, like, guess what? When you're watching Seinfeld, why does everybody always sit on one side of the table? I mean, because you can't turn your back to the camera. It's just as unnatural as if everyone was cars. There's always a reason why everything's fucking weird, and you have
Maybe
to like.
we're all cars.
Maybe we are all cars. That's what the show will
How
make
often
you ask.
do you wonder where a basketball came from?
Yeah. Why? Yeah. Who made this orange? Yeah.
How much thought have you put into that?
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does.
I think it's going to be a really
we're
good
still
show.
writing it.
I want to watch the show because also like I want to watch that show and wonder. I want to have a lot of questions about it, and I want to find out that they're not going to be answered, or they're going to be answered very slowly.
Because remember ABC's Cavemen?
Yes, I do.
That show could have lasted 100 episodes if it had just accepted that it was fucked up.
It was fucked.
Yeah.
Because I still have the pilot that never aired of Cavemen, which was way more racist. Where the cavemen were really good dancers and had big dicks, and had lots of rhythm and stuff like that. Like they dropped that for the unairing pilot. We all have, okay. Here's what we do: Balboa Theater, July 22nd.
You're gonna have to raise those ticket prices.
We showed the unaired pilot of Cavemen. Holy smoke! They asked me to audition for that one, and I declined. Even sadder than that, I know a lot of people that auditioned for Cavemen and didn't get the job.
Well, Nick Kroll did, and he was really. That's how I met Nick Kroll. Is like I found out he was like the smart caveman in Cavemen. He was like the one with the glasses, and I asked him 500 caveman questions. He answered every single one. It was the first time I'd ever met him, and I was like, that guy's cool, man. He did not like.
Yeah, Cavemen's worth a look. It's worth watching. What was it? 4 episodes? How many did they make?
I think like 4 aired.
Yeah.
They probably made 6. So.
It is fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
What year was this?
I don't know. Wow.
I think someone
Nick
from the
Kroll
cast
here
is
right
here.
2006 sounds good.
Yeah,
sounds like
that sounds about right.
That sounds like the year.
Yeah, it's fucking. I have it at my place. It's please come over and watch it with me. It's really good.
All 1,000 people.
You know, treat yourself. Find the pilot to Mr. Ed. It's one of the funniest goddamn half hours of TV you'll ever see in your life.
So, John, tell everybody that I'm fun to work with.
I wasn't done with Mr. Ed, Dad.
Or I'm not fun, but just tell them it's amazing to work with me.
It's so amazing.
For example,
at his house, you're greeted by his dogs immediately.
Did you get peed on?
Just a little.
Yeah.
Just a little. Well, Harvey growls at me a lot.
but he doesn't know what growling
But he doesn't
means.
know what that
Yeah,
means.
He thinks it means play with me.
And then sorry, I wasn't selling this well enough.
No. Well, there is the Apple TV thing, like because I try to put it up on the screen, and then I
the most embarrassing things pop up whenever Dan turns his Apple TV on. Started taking photos to Dan Shame of the Kelly Clarkson songs revealed.
Yeah.
Of last played.
Yeah.
On the Apple TV. That's fun. We have a good laugh about that.
Yeah. Hey, you're like, oh, welcome, guys. All right, let's open a laptop. Apple TV's not working, and then he'll be bitching about it for a while, like swearing and going like, fucking technology. Fuck.
He's got a fish tank that
and
he's
then, like,
still learning how to work.
The screen comes up, and it says Kelly Clarkson, whatever makes you stronger, or whatever the fuck it is. And it's like, as Nick pointed out, the progress indicator is 5 seconds before the end of the song. Which means like it's like there's unmistakable. It's like there's nothing you could never
no way you can get out of it.
Yeah, there's no. I got hacked. My account got hacked. Like, it's that. No, you listened to the song, you danced to it in your underwear, and then the doorbell rang. And
how are the fish doing? Are the fish thriving?
He has a hard time dealing with the light.
No, it's okay now. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Thank God for Golan.
Yeah, Golan, the fish guy.
He's important to the household.
Yeah, I'm a dick to the aquarium guy.
Well, didn't he steal the remote? Wasn't there a hubbub with this remote?
The light didn't work for a while, and he didn't tell me you have to open the cabinet in order for the remote for the light on the fish tank to work.
Right.
That means it's not a remote.
It's a detachable button pad.
Because if you have to open the I mean, not that I needed it to be remote. I'd love a button under the cabinet that like just turns the light on so you can see the fish. The fish have a light cycle, lets the fish live their natural life in a 2-foot tank. Like they they'd go crazy going like, why isn't it morning yet? Why is it nighttime? And so it goes around a cycle, but like the only time people are going to come over to my place and see the fish is there in their nighttime. So it's a black tank. So I just want to hit a button and go, there's the fish. Look, there's a prawn. So I went back and forth with this guy, and I'm a huge dick. I read one of my texts when I was going through the divorce. I did this whole, it was like on a
you were
warpath.
like quoting Edward Albee. And
while you were there, I said, this was the most, I said, because it was like the fifth time I asked about the remote not working for the light, and then I tagged it with a generic, if you ever want to just like be a dick that seems intellectual, I said, I feel like I'm in an Edward Albee play.
Which one?
Who's turning the tank on? And then he was like, no, and he called me and he's like, just gonna open the door. It's not a good way to end the show. So it sounds like a lot of people are gonna watch on FX when we have our Happy City show. After they pick it up, after we turn in the script.
And we got some work to do.
Sorry, I keep pushing the meetings where I have to do
It's okay.
pass on the script.
We'll find something out.
But
John, what's your least favorite thing about working with Dan? What's the downside to working with Dan Harmon?
His unavailability.
Oh, because you want more of me.
Yeah. Wait.
That makes sense.
No, that's
scarcity.
I'm going to stick with that. Yeah. Now, you're a busy man.
Mm-hmm. Very hard worker.
Yeah. You guys are all lucky to be getting his time right now.
Is that great?
I fight you for it sometimes, I think.
That's true. It's not a joke.
You guys are delightful, by the way. I like these guys. Like they were YouTubers.
Consummate good sports. These guys.
Like they haven't.
I so believe you.
They haven't been in the TV
true.
world yet. So I'm like indoctrinating them into like, no, you just got to write a shitty script. It's like terrifying for you guys, but you guys are like fucking churning shit out. You're like, we did what you said. We don't like. You guys are doing shit that does not feel good for you to do because I asked you to do it, and you're getting punished for it. That's great.
No. Well, I mean, to be honest, I mean, it's been awesome. I mean, we just got the absolute luck of getting to pitch Dan this idea that you liked enough to take out with us, and we've been learning so much from you. It's been awesome. And we watched Community from the beginning. We've watched all your stuff, so to be learning.
If he's abusing you, just like blink twice.
But yeah, no, it's great. It's been awesome.
I'm a good person. Like I have a reputation for not, but, and I don't know why I'm not in a better mood because tonight like I usually have work tomorrow when I come to the show. I should be in a good mood. Like I have tomorrow off.
Well, from moment one, honestly, you were so gracious to hear our idea, which I think kind of surprised us because we weren't.
I urged him not to take that meeting. I said, these guys are YouTubers. It's not worth it. They're never going to amount to anything. I probably never wrote a script in their life.
I feel this is where I've known Dan forever, and he shot down my skateboard TV show where everybody was skateboards. He didn't like it.
Well, we took the best parts of that.
And the thing is, my skateboards had arms.
You had it worked out beforehand.
Yeah.
I keep the running joke with these guys is I keep pretending that I'm using them to get close to PewDiePie, and but I have a.
You bring him up an awful lot. I was wondering, like,
Starburns
how
Industries
we know
has a. I looked on the calendar. There's a PewDiePie meeting coming up.
Oh shit!
PewDiePie's a big fan of Harmontown.
We can really elevate his craft.
He's coming in.
Jeff doesn't know
what's a PewDiePie
is.
I
He's just a phenomenon.
We're currently working with Dan. We'll move on to you, I guess.
PewDiePie?
Think about if the Beatles was on YouTube. It's like he's like the Beatles of YouTube.
He's a video game reviewer.
It's a perfect analogy.
Okay.
He's like the biggest fucking force on that entire place.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the Tim Allen of YouTube. In 98.
I got you.
Yeah, he makes noises.
His name is PewDiePie?
Yeah.
PewDiePie.
He's from Foreign Place.
Foreign Place, Europe.
Yeah. One of them.
Looking for Comic-Con.
Yeah, he's going to be at the Balboa Theater. He'll be doing
July
autographs.
23rd.
Take all those photos.
He's the day after
If I
us.
told you guys PewDiePie was at my Comic-Con show, would you come to the Comic-Con show? Okay.
I really thought the audience would
I don't
be too
believe that.
generous.
That was tepid.
They're going to come in. It's just
And
gonna be
you know
me.
he's listening because he's a fan, and now he's like,
You know who else is a fan? Lin-Manuel Miranda. And I started mad beef with that guy.
Well, he
hates me.
He wants to come on the show.
No, he wants to tear me apart.
I don't think so.
I don't want to
think
see
he wants to
him.
tear
I'm
anyone apart.
afraid of what he'll do to me,
Well,
not in a racist way.
I may have to have him on the show because he wants to come on the show.
No, it'd be amazing, but I think he really just wants to take me to task. I guess it'd be worth it, right? It'd be worth it, yeah.
What did you do to him?
I said some not nice things about Hamilton, like I don't get it. It's just rapping. And then someone was like, that's not very nice. I love at Lin-Manuel Miranda. And then he follows me because he's apparently a huge fan of Harmontown.
Yeah.
And he sees me tweet. And he gets real mad. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Well, maybe not real mad. I don't know.
No, he gets so mad. He gets steamed.
We should have him do a rap battle with Dan.
Oh, no, I know. Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Or is he too chicken?
To come to the Balboa Theater. That's what we're trying to.
On August 4th.
Let's look into him too for the we got like that's our takeaway. A big A-list guest for the Balboa. Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Let's do it.
What's Felicia Day doing?
She'll be at the Geek and Sundry Lounge. We'll be hanging out.
Because I can get you Sherry O'Terry.
Well, what have we learned tonight?
John, what have we learned tonight?
Oh, man. A lot about the forensic files. Pubic hairs.
I wonder if there's anything I left off of the...
Did we learn everything we needed to know about pubic hairs?
They travel or migrate. Okay.
What about kid murder?
They say if you want to get away with a murder, the best way to do it is have a boat.
Yeah.
You got to have your own boat.
Yeah.
You can't borrow a boat because they go, oh, did you borrow a boat recently? They go, yeah. Then
I think they're onto that now, though, because now it's like if you you can't have a boat that you just teleport to. So the docks just have cameras all over them. So if you get on the boat with somebody you don't like and you come back alone, that holds up in court.
Have a boat, own the security camera system. Also, have a carpet business where you're constantly rolling up carpets and putting them on your boat. But you got to do that for like 4 years of rolling up carpets and putting them on your boat in the middle of the night.
Carpeting.
There's only one thing we didn't talk about tonight. And I was talking about selfie sticks and I was asking questions about them and how they worked. And then it came around to we'll skip a couple steps because it came around to I started looking it up and I saw that museums were banning selfie sticks in Europe. And I was like, yeah, do you really want to be on the side of that snobbery? Aren't American tourists like what? We're always going to be obnoxious. Like who knows? Like who do you side with in that Mothra versus Gamera fight? You know, but and then Jeff was saying like. I wouldn't allow selfie sticks at my museum, and I was like, I know one reason why you shouldn't is because you could use them in like an elaborate crown. What do you call it? Affair. Like your selfie stick could easily. Yeah, take it easy. I was testing it. Obviously, it's a heist tool. You could disguise a selfie stick. You know, you could use a selfie stick to do a lot of Hudson Hawk, like painting grabbing.
Without question.
And then Jeff brought up this thing where he said, like, if I had a museum, I would invite people. I would say I would not allow selfie sticks, but I would, just to make it clear that it wasn't about that, I would say, go ahead, rob my museum. And so then it started me thinking. So here's my pitch.
I challenged them. I was like, let's show me what you got. Like, I dare you to try to get away with robbing my museum. Right?
So here's my museum pitch. This is how you make a profitable museum. So you know how every museum has like a gift shop with like keychains and like Chinese finger traps and like fans and like lunchboxes.
You know, like at the Getty, you go there, you get a Chinese finger trap on the way out.
So you take that shit, you put it on display in your museum. You fill the gift shop with incredibly expensive heist items. Oh, welcome to my teddy bear keychain museum. By the way, we encourage you to rob it while you're here. Can we interest you in a $5,000 can of laser spray? The spray you use to reveal where the lasers are? Would you like some night vision goggles for $48,000?
Shouldn't the art there be expensive? Or you say you use that laser spray?
No, the art there is people are constantly fucking stealing shit. They're dangling down on wire you sold them for $50,000 a foot, snatching your teddy bear that cost $3 to replace. I'm a genius.
Wouldn't they take your expensive heist items and go to a museum that had expensive art?
No, they wouldn't. Well, they have to buy them. What this place is
he wants to turn a profit.
All right. Wait, so you just have an expensive outlet for heist items.
Yes, and by the way, this isn't for real burglars. I mean, they buy their shit wholesale from different people, and they rob real museums. This is a way for America, for the tourist to feel the joy of, I want to be a burglar. And like our museum boasts like, you steal what you want, you know, and then they go like, oh shit, and they buy like these spandex outfits, and they just like they walk out of there broke, and then they rob you for like a keychain. It's the carnival principle.
It seems like a bad business model.
All right, I'll keep making fucking Thomas the Tank Engine spoofs. I don't know what's going to get me rich faster.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
make friends with PewDiePie, maybe.
PewDiePie.
We got to end the show.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
What you got, Dan?
A song about PewDiePie.
Thanks for coming to Harmontown, everybody. Oh. Day turns into week. Cheat, cheat, shoot. Put your buddy in the bucket, put your buddy down the chute. Days. Oh shit, this is the bridge. Okay. All right, start it over. All right. Okay. All right, wipe your head. Wipe your head. These are the song lyrics to my song. Doop doop dop dop doop 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 doop. When a song has lyrics, they go like this: chip chip chop chop chicka choop 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 chicka chippity chop. Everybody wants a song to be better than it is, but you never know which one you'll get. Everybody needs a song to be good, but you might as well go eat a brick or a piece of wood. Everybody needs music to be good, but if you're listening, who's making music good? Take those earbuds out, grab a microphone, because the people making music are untalented and alone. Thank you for coming to Harmontown, everybody. Let's hear for John Edison. Savannah, Zach, Luke for bringing me booze, Spencer Clinton, I'm Jeff Davis. Your mayor, Dan Harmon. Women get tested, check yourself and get tested for breast cancer. This song just became unhateable. Number one killer of women. If you hate the song, you hate women.
this song. Check your balls, check your boobies. Cancer's gonna kill you if you don't like this song. AIDS. Acquired immune deficiency syndrome in the room. My name is Acquired Jones. Don't be here all alone. Gonna infect your white blood cells until they can't tell them from themselves. They're gonna attack more cells in turn. Turn your whole body and make it burn. Health instead of life. Then you're gonna die. It's not funny.
The show is over like 5 minutes ago.
Katrina! Drone strikes! Drone strikes!
You're allowed to leave.
Don't do a drone strike on Katrina! Hey!
I'm only staying here because my iPad is plugged in.
Drone strike, Katrina hike. Check your breast cancer all night. Check your balls too. Cancer number 1. Gonna kill you when the virus done. AIDS. Acquired.